Episode 119 of the Figuring Shit Out podcast. We back. You already know who I am. Got Bunee Flacs in the building. Check out the books, Dark Conspiracies and Elusive Perspective on Amazon. On the website, Elusive Perspective. We got King Arthur in the building. What's going on with you, bro?
You know what time it is, man. Unify and Thrive. If you didn't know, we're in New Dimension. You're getting spooky out here. Oh, the camera right here. All right. We're getting spooky out here. And Frank, how you going to have your product and don't tell me to bring my product? I don't think that's fair.
You're supposed to remember that, bro.
You absolutely right. I don't mess with you, bro.
We're going to blame it on admin. I didn't bring my product either. I got a whole book out there.
So we got to blame Frank for that.
Facts.
What we got going on there, bro?
We're going to have a dope show today. We got the great Tony Harold here. I
Thank
feel like
you.
he should introduce himself, talk about all the things he's doing, all the things he's got going on right now. He's got a book, he's got real estate, he's got venture capitalists, he got a lot of things going on.
You want me to jump in? Is this my shot?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's you right here.
Right here. Wow, all the things, I like to sum it up. I like to make all the things seem like one thing so I don't confuse the audience. So, gosh, it's real estate related, but as I've learned over the last 5 years particularly, kind of been out in the real estate space about 20 years. It's real quiet with it, like the first 15, flipping houses, built a few houses, and as a background and a degreed accountant, it's a numbers game. I mean, business, if we look out this window and look at the skyline downtown Norfolk,
Clouds.
Any main street in any city, Wall Street, Black Wall Street, it's a numbers game. So I approached real estate for 15, 20 years from a numbers game. And where I landed 5 years ago was in that game out there. And in any game, I don't care if you're in the restaurant game, the music game, you got to have capital. And so I said, okay, I'm not going to be a flipper. I'm not going to be necessarily a developer, mortgage company. There's so much stuff you can do. I said, no matter what you do, you got to have bread. You got to have capital.
That's a bar.
Yeah.
Bars. Bars.
I've been trying to day trade with no money.
So I started a fund. I kind of say, well, what do you call the capital in real estate? And in some companies, you have hedge funds and different kinds of things. But many times, the popular trend is to create a real estate fund. Sometimes I call it a real estate bank. People get confused. They think it's a brick and mortar bank. It is not. But it's a fund. And so for the last 5 years or so, we've been focusing on raising capital, and then for real estate. But it's a huge thing to really focus on running a fund and being a fund manager and having all these investors that you cannot make them all happy.
Right.
So
We're going to get into that. We're going to get into all that.
Okay.
First,
Okay,
so
cool.
our first question we usually ask every guest is, what was their figuring shit out moment? So this could be any time in your life. You had gray skies, you know what I'm saying? You figured some shit out, you learned some shit, and everything was different for you at that moment. You have a figuring shit out moment for us.
What was the great moment?
Yeah, or figuring shit out moment.
When I bought the 300 unit
300 units?
in 2020, that was a big figuring shit out moment because I had been flipping one house at a time, and now I had 300.
Hold on. Did you say 300?
300 units.
It's on his shirt, bro. 0 to 300. You got the QR code.
I'm just saying it's kind of blowing my face a little bit because it's 300 units. Like
I went from flipping one house at a time for 15 years. In 2020, I went looking for a 100 unit. I didn't want to scale up to a 4 unit or 8. Like all over YouTube, you got cats. You got all of us trying to get in this real estate game and create wealth and pick up the Lamborghini or the Lambo or whatever. Right. And so I knew very quickly that a 4 unit wasn't going to replace a 6-figure income that I had from my career, my daytime stuff. So I, just built the Excel spreadsheet and figured out how many units it would take to get me out of corporate America. And it was about 100 units. So I went looking for 100 units and was really fortunate and found a 300 unit over in Newport News, Virginia, and had to figure it out.
So that's like, I tell Frank this all the time. I was listening to a podcast and the guy was like, if you want to do something, just get in over your head. Was that getting in over your head when you first started? Like,
yeah,
big
time.
Yeah?
Big time. Yeah.
How did that feel? Like,
well, because I had been like really studying it for 15 years, when I finally got there, it was really kind of calm. I think the guys around me kept I guess, looking for me to panic more, kept looking at me like, asking me that same question.
you
How do
panicking?
you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? And if I had not been doing real estate for 20 years, maybe I only had been doing it for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, then 300 units would have probably been very stressful.
Overwhelming.
But if you've been studying something for 15 years, quietly, and then dreaming about it, the mind is where it's all at. The manifestation of it is where it's all at. So I had seen it, and I didn't really know the number, 100 unit, 50 unit, 300 unit. I didn't know the number, but I had seen the success.
Right.
It just happened to have come in my life in 300 units.
Okay.
So I was just calm the whole time. I really couldn't believe how calm I was. Right. And even when crazy stuff happened, I had a good team around me, and like you guys have a great team, so it's all about teamwork.
That's right.
Dope.
Hey, Frank, you heard that man?
Yes.
My man said,
0 to 300.
I just bought my first house. I ain't been into the year yet. And so, like, I haven't been into the year yet. And, like, I do want to, get into real estate, but entrepreneuring like Frank, day trading, trying to, supplement his income.
Right.
I don't get paid enough work to be my boss's neighbor.
Yeah.
So, and there's
Not yet,
there's a
not
house in my
yet.
neighborhood that I'm trying to get a friend of mine who flips, Meeks, what up, bro, to help me do it. But it's like, he's here, I'm there, he's busy. And so I do want to get into real estate, but like $300 is a lot.
It is.
Yeah, so
It is.
I want to kind of just, Frank, you got a question? Because I'm going to talk my head off.
The book. Let's plug the book real quick. Talk about the book. We can't see the QR code, but we'll put the QR code on there and the link and the book. Talk about the book 0300.
0 to 300.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Okay, so when you're grinding, you just in it. You're out there and you're going after it. And so was looking for 100 unit. I actually didn't find a 300 unit. It got dropped in my lap. That's a whole nother story. So got access to this 300 unit. Didn't know what I was doing, but was smart enough, having been out there working for 25 years in corporate America. But I'm a basketball fan and I'm a sports fan. So I like football, basketball, and really like the Jordan era, Michael Jordan era. So it's all that was all about. That wasn't Jordan didn't do all that by himself.
Right.
He did it with a phenomenal team, and then from a corporate standpoint, behind the team was a franchise, and then behind the franchise there's owners. So I look at everything. If you bring me a slice of pizza, I can see the CEO. You know what I'm saying?
Papa John's.
Right, Papa John's.
Shout out Papa John's.
It's like now how good is the pizza? I want to know what's the CEO's name that that made this piece of pizza. So that's how I kind of think. So we were in the grind and we were doing it. We had bought it, and so then we're working, and we had a huge team that I had joined over in Chesapeake. Shout out to CIG and those guys. Hope those guys will chime in to the show. But I was in the office working, and it was a bunch of smart guys. It's one thing about doing something big, get around people that are smarter than you.
That's facts.
And on this particular team, I took the deal to this team. It's called syndicated real estate.
Okay.
I took it to them because they had done one of these projects before. I think they had just done 125 units. So you don't try to do this kind of a thing by yourself.
Right.
You take it to a team that's done more. But anyway, we were grinding, a bunch of smart guys that were around me, and I was sitting at my desk one day just working on something, and one of my teammates, David Hills, brilliant guy, younger guy, came up behind me, and we were talking, and I guess he had a vision of all of what was going on, and he said, "You don't really realize what's going on, do you?" And I'm writing something, and he's standing behind me. He's kind of like really disturbing me, David. But so then I said, "Yeah, man, yeah, of course. What are you talking about?" And we're talking. He's like, "You really don't know what you're doing, do you? You don't realize what you're doing."
Figuring that shit out.
Right. And I think he asked me 3 times, and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like he's behind me, so I'm like, "Okay, let me stop drafting this email and turn around and answer your question, your stupid question, so you can leave, and I can get back to my email." I'm like, "Of course I know what I'm talking about. What do you mean?" He's like, "You've been flipping houses for 15 years, and now you own 300 units. Do like that's not normal. You don't realize that that's not normal. Right. And so I look at his face and I'm like, oh shit. And he says, you should write a book called 0 to 300.
Bingo.
And it was just one of those moments. It was one of those really clarifying moments. I could just hear it, I could feel it, I could see it. I almost could see the book cover. I almost knew all the content. It would be very easy to write the content. It's just sitting down for a couple of 2 or 3 days and writing my life.
Pre-AI.
Yeah, pre-AI. And so I sat one weekend, 2 days, it was raining one weekend. About a year later, I wrote the name down and just kind of put it in memory. And then a year later, I realized it was time to write the book. It was raining outside. And I just turned my phone off for 48 hours. And I wrote the book in 48 hours.
Nice.
King Arthur got a book, and we see still sitting on your joint 10 years ago?
Yeah,
10 years.
Insist.
It's in the drafts folder.
It's called what?
Insist. Following your heart's true desires. And so I'm just,
Insist? Like to insist that you do something.
Yes, and so
I insist that you write your book.
It's on Amazon.
Like
It's on the KDP. I just don't. I was
that book out.
It's definitely 10 years old. I definitely wasn't confident in it, and it's just there. You know, I just something I want to do. I did it, and I don't push it at all. But
So have you published it?
it's a digital copy on Amazon.
Okay, great.
You can get a digital copy.
Okay, I didn't know that. I misspoke.
I
Didn't
didn't
you just
know
put it
that.
out?
Look,
Oh, he forgot. You
I
forgot.
forgot.
Okay.
And I can't even get to my KDP account to see what is done. Like,
Oh, damn.
yeah, it's so.
No, you gotta figure that shit out.
So you got to go back and
You gotta figure that shit
Or
out.
redo it, maybe. You publish it again.
get that open.
But I want to talk about you getting into real estate 15, 20 years ago, starting to flip houses. Like, why'd you do that? Like, outside. What was your corporate career? So, what was your corporate career, and why'd you stop that to start flipping houses? Or pivot from that to start flipping houses?
My corporate career, I went to Hampton University. Yo, shout out to the best HU, the real HU. Every Howard University person is. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna stop
They gonna be
watching
in
your
the comments.
podcast.
They gonna be in the comments.
So had a degree in accounting.
Okay.
So went out and worked in the CPA world for a while, and then worked in the business world. But so that kind of happened second. But to answer your question, the real estate thing, the flipping houses thing happened first. And I got my first real estate lesson when I was probably about 8 years old.
Okay.
In Norfolk, in my neighborhood, I used to live in Ballantyne Place, not far from Norfolk State. Shout out to NSU.
Yeah.
And across the street, there was this dirt lot. And I used to ride my bicycle in this dirt lot after school. I don't know, 8, maybe 10, 9, 10, I can't remember. And came home from school one day, finished up my homework. Hint. Came outside.
Do your homework. Go to school, do your homework.
Came outside into an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old to see 2 canary yellow Corvettes parked in front of your house across the street in front of this lot. I was, car guy, bikes, sports, dude, basketball. So, it's like cars and stuff like that, dirt bikes. I used to ride
Rare
dirt
sight,
bikes.
yeah.
Whatever. And so I immediately went across the street. These 2 guys are walking around this lot. And they each had a canary yellow Corvette. And I said, hey, mister, what are you guys doing on my lot? Because that's what I wrote on my license.
I can see that.
And they said, we're getting ready to build a duplex.
Okay.
I say, what's a duplex? They say, it's 2 houses kind of put together, and we're going to live on one side, and we're going to rent the other side for free. I said, what's rent? They say the other people pay us money for live there. And we're going to live here for free. And I don't think I asked many other questions. I went home and, mommy, what time is daddy getting home from work? We didn't have a lot of money.
Right.
We would go to the grocery store in different places. I would ask for candy. Sometimes I'd want 3. I'd only get 1. And, we'd have to save for stuff. So I knew money, even at 8 or 9 or 10, was a problem. And I understood the word free. And I said, what time is daddy going to get home? And she said, he'll be home in about an hour. I went back outside riding the bicycle. Daddy comes home. Daddy, we got to get a duplex so that we can live on one side and rent the other side for free.
It sounds, yeah.
And so something got put in me at like 8 or 9 or 10.
How'd your dad take it?
He was like, what?
He probably asked me what's rent. I don't know.
They're like, if you don't get out my face, I'm trying to pay these bills.
Yeah. But it got embedded then. And I probably, after that conversation with my dad, I don't think I ever even thought about that, and the duplex is there now.
Still
Yeah.
owned by the same guys, you know?
I don't know. I go by there about once a year. I take a picture of the address. I keep saying
should.
I'm going to look it up on the tax board in Norfolk and call them and ask them if I can buy it. It would be so nostalgic
Yo, that would be super dope.
to own that. But so with that story, sometimes things get, and good things and bad things to the truth, get put into us at a very young age, and then they come back out later. So
No, that's huge.
Yeah.
What would you say is a huge misconception about money that most people have?
Misconception about so many. Wow, picking one. You want me
Or
to pick
money
one?
and
Give
investing.
us three. Give us three.
Money and investing.
Yeah, money investing. Give us three.
People don't know how to make it. Not really, for the most part. A lot of times we really don't know how to earn it. And so that's one. And then when we earn it, we don't know what to do with it.
Bars.
Huh?
Bars.
And then, goshly, thirdly, a misconception about it that like we have this dream that we want more of it, but the misconception is we really don't know what to do with it when the day comes and we get a lot of it. That's what happened to me.
Okay. Do you remember the day you got a lot of it? What do you call a lot?
Everybody wants $1 million, $1 million.
Okay.
Nah, I
Do
want
you
more than that.
I'm
don't
just
want
saying,
$1
like a lot of people want to be a millionaire.
Right.
But what I found out positively is the day I got $1 million, I didn't really know what to do with it.
And it probably don't stretch as much as you would think.
Oh,
right?
it doesn't go as far as you
Not
think
these
it goes.
days. right.
At all.
I
remember
you
you
buy one house.
I mean, I want to see
You
for
buy
myself.
one house and a Bentley, and you got
gone.
you broke.
Taxes.
It's
yeah.
back to flipping houses.
At least you got a skill though.
Yeah, but
you got a
it's
skill.
scary.
Yeah,
it's a
no,
scary
that's
experience.
True. That's
I
true.
don't know.
That's the second book. Yeah, what to do with $1 million.
So talk about so every week, right? You do this investment class or this investment session where you try to bring people into your venture capital
Right.
idea. So
Not
what's that
venture
about?
capital, but fun. A
Fun,
little bit
okay.
different. Sort of kind. Yeah.
School me. Venture fund. What's
Yeah. What's the question?
What's that about? Talk about that
What
weekly.
the presentation? We've been doing it for a while. After we finished the 300 unit, what I didn't tell you was we turned around and took some of that capital and invested in the 215 unit, and we took some more capital and invested in the 700 unit. So currently I'm invested in 1,215 units, and that's kind of a rare thing.
That's dope.
And what I realized about that, I mean, when we were grinding so hard, did it just happen? You know, I'm like, I don't know, like Jay-Z or somebody, when they were like in the flow, they were just making album and 50 and different
Recording.
cats like that.
Lil
They was
Wayne
making
mixtape era.
Wayne, they was making album, and like the whole Cash Money thing, they was making album after album after. I mean,
putting it out.
they were just in it, and probably didn't know that you shouldn't be making albums that fast. Right.
But they
So
were
when we
grinding,
got in it, we were just investing and investing. We didn't know you know, nobody told me that I wasn't supposed to invest in 1,000 doors.
I mean, it seems like it worked out though.
Right, but
Or-
but you don't know it. So, so I got to a point where it's like, wow, there's this epiphany or whatever. You start talking about it, and what you're doing seems so natural because the people that you're around, you're in a small clique of people, and we're doing it, so it's natural to us until you get out of your bubble and you go someplace and you find out from the rest of the world that it's not normal to be invested in 1,000 doors. And it's like, oh, okay, I need to step back. And for people that care about other people, then you want to go and teach what you know.
Is it due to risk? Or is it the risk factor being invested in 1,000 units? Is that the reason, or is it just not? It's just not normal, so it's frowned upon.
I don't think it's as much the risk factor is that first opportunity is not normal. The first opportunity, creating the first opportunity to invest in 100 doors or to invest in 200 or 300, that's not normal. People are trying to navigate that.
Right.
And I think what happened to me, I was blessed to navigate that. And if you look on YouTube or wherever, you see a lot of people trying to navigate that. And I think a part of me is I'm a teacher. I've just always, in all my career experiences, once I was first a student and once I learned something and then I became, the manager or the person in charge of it, And if I had to hire people, I always enjoyed teaching people, you know, how to succeed and coming behind me. I've always enjoyed that for whatever reason. I've always been a mentor type guy versus kind of a solo guy. I want to go in a corner, want to go in my room and just stay there forever, you know, and become a billionaire in my room by myself. Never that guy. Wasn't that guy. So I realized it was something to teach, and I needed to raise more capital. You know, once you hit a certain amount of whether it's 100, whether it's 10,000 or 25,000 or 100,000, million, 10 million, you receive that. You have, as an investor, you have to, you're either gonna blow it, which you're not gonna do.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Or you're gonna have to invest it. But then once you've invested it, your capital just went down. And in order to do the next deal, you need more capital. So I had to think of ways to raise more capital. And I said, well, let me reduce the entry point, which was on those deals, like a lot of times, like $100,000. And so I wanted to be able to do something that more people could participate in, because, you know, more experienced, accredited, seasoned investors, accredited means seasoned, minimum of like $200,000 a year. They have $100,000, but a lot of newer investors, like I was, you know, 10 or 15 or 20 years ago, I didn't have $100,000. I didn't have $10,000. So I wanted to do a real estate investing presentation. So we've been doing them on Thursday night, 6:30, both live in our office and via Zoom, and we're getting ready to turn it into a podcast, aren't we? Give me some.
Yeah.
You know, so at some point, January, February, as soon as we can kind of get everything together, to teach early emerging investors how to get ready, to have the mindset to invest, the dollar amount they need to invest, and also what do they want to invest in. Do they want to invest in flips? Do they want to invest in new construction? Do they want to invest in multifamily? Or do they want to invest in something else? So that's what we've been covering.
That's dope. So how do you deal with, so investing sounds scary to a lot of people.
It is.
Right? You're basically essentially giving money away to somebody who's supposed to flip it, turn it around, or whatever the case is.
Or themselves. They invest themselves.
Right.
One or the
How
other.
do you, the trust factor, how do you educate somebody to the point where they feel comfortable making an investment, or they feel they made a good choice, as opposed to, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen to this money, I'm never going to see it again. You know, how do you get past that?
Man, that's maybe that may be the best question that you ask all day, because when I went and started to do these investing presentations, again, we were in a bubble when we did like the 300 unit.
Right.
And so when you're in a bubble like that, and everybody around you in your circle, you know, they're experiencing that, like a basketball team. If you're playing with a bunch of NBA players, y'all at practice, you got all pros around you all the time. So winning, it feels normal.
Right, oh, I'm a winner. Yeah,
It feels normal. But then when you got to go out and teach, you may think you're going to leave the NBA gym and then come back home from Chicago to Norfolk and teach some college students to kind of duplicate what you just did, but then it doesn't work because they're not quite there yet.
Right.
So you get shocked.
You thought like I did it, so now I'm going to give you
right.
all
So I
the
thought that with
steps.
my success story and the book and everything, I was just going to rent an office space like this, and I was going to put some ads out and
make a
invite
bunch of millionaires.
and invite,
Make a bunch of millionaires.
and make a bunch of millionaires.
Nice.
And so people started coming in, and they would hear the presentation the first year, and wow, what was my closing ratio? Out of maybe 2%, 10%, and that's kind of high. Well, no, 10%. That's really high. It's not that bad. Yeah. But I thought it was gonna be like 50%. So in my first year, 2024, I was really disappointed and almost quit, stopped teaching people. And the thing we did, we lowered, so how do we gain the trust? We lowered the investment level from 100,000 down to 10,000.
Okay.
And I said,
risk. Less of a risk.
Less of a risk. But still,
$10,000
is a lot of money for
it is.
for a lot of people. So
Speak
what?
from a rich person, Frank.
So what we experienced was that what I found out that my job, I thought my job was going to be just to make the presentation, show some of my friends that invested in the 300 unit. One guy invested $150,000, and in 22 months he got $300,000 back. So I talk more about him.
I need that.
I talk more about Dwight than I do about myself. More believable. I think he pulls it out of his 401k. He's a trader kind of a guy. He's been trading longer than you. I should connect you with Dwight. Maybe get Dwight come sit in here.
Absolutely.
Come sit here.
Do that.
Yeah. And so I talk more. He's 22-year Navy officer.
Nice.
So he's just your average, everyday guy that you see in Walmart. And he had a great experience with us. So I tell his story. And then when I was flipping houses, I had guys that would invest $5,000 and $10,000. So in the PowerPoint presentation, I show their pictures. I show one guy, I show one girl, I show a black guy, I show an older white guy. So I try to show all these people that I've been dealing with for 15, 20 years, anywhere from $5,000 to $150,000, and their successes. I also talk about maybe some projects. We're talking about trust. Some projects that didn't make as much. One project, it was a flip, and I was expecting to make maybe $35,000 on it, and I only made maybe $25,000 or something like that. And I paid my investors the 20, and I kept the 5, which was very disappointing. Right. But I made sure that my investors were made whole, and I kind of took the L, or I kind of took the lunch money. And so, but what I found out was that trust is not built in a day, and I couldn't quit. And that my job was to work with those that did come and go out and do successful projects with them and keep on teaching. That my teaching wasn't to be, my part wasn't to be successful in a day or a month, and not even a year. But honestly, to work with those that do invest, do successful projects, and keep on teaching as if I had to teach for free and forever.
Right.
Bars.
I heard scared money don't make money.
Right. That's true.
No?
That's true.
Okay. Scared money
It's
won't
one
make
of those
no
cliches.
money. Right, but was it scary to you when you first started investing your own money, or were you just like, I'm okay with whatever comes?
When I first started, 15 years ago in the flips, or 5 years ago in the multifamily?
Both.
15 years ago in the flips,
it's on the top.
It was a little bit scary, but because of my accounting and business background, I approach flips different than I think a lot of people that I see like on HGTV. They watch these HGTV shows, and then they get out there and they try to do a flip, and a lot of people don't have as much success because they're approaching real estate emotionally.
Okay.
Because of my accounting background, I approached real estate numerically. I would build budgets, and I would get the best real estate agents that I could find to give me what's called comps, comparables. I would, contractors kind of had a bad name. You hire these contractors that don't do such a good job.
Right.
So I spent quite a bit of time interviewing contractors, vetting them, getting referrals from them, driving to houses that they'd done, knocking on people's doors and trying. It's amazing you can get people to let you in their house. They don't even know who you are, but I'm good at that. Knock on the door. Jose said that he put your bathroom in last month, and can I see your bathroom, ma'am? And they're like, yeah, come on in. I'm like, man, I could be a serial killer for real.
That's crazy. You must got a likable pitch.
It's amazing what happens when you wear a 3-piece suit and you knock on somebody's door. But yeah, so it was a little bit scary, but I approached it from a number standpoint, and I made sure that I had good people in terms of my agent, and in terms of my contractor, and I just got in and worked hard.
Right.
And I think because of the planning and the team, I had good successes in my flips. I don't think in 15 years I've never lost money on a flip.
That's dope.
Was there wood? I need some wood.
That's dope.
Maybe
at a chair somewhere.
Yeah,
there's wood in there.
I want to talk about flipping.
Yeah, do that.
I'm serious. Like, I moved to a neighborhood that I didn't know existed. When I was looking for a house, I couldn't afford to go further north. So I had to go south. We found something I could afford, had enough space. And then I drove around the neighborhood, and I was like, oh, it's a whole community back here. And there's just one house that's been sitting there since I moved out there. I drive by and look there. So they cut the grass one time. And I've been there since February last year, right?
Right.
So I know that's a sign of somebody needs it, right? Somebody wants to come in and make it whole or new or nicer, right? And so what would you suggest?
No, that's not a sign somebody wants to make it nicer. That's a sign, if somebody cut the grass one time, that's a sign that somebody owns it. But if you don't cut your grass in the neighborhood, the city will start sending bills to your house, like a $50 bill for not cutting the grass. And if you don't pay that $50 bill in 30, 60, 90 days, it goes into delinquency. And the delinquencies, I've heard, can be like $100, $150. So this little $50 bill can turn into $1,000 or a $2,000 bill. So they're trying to just keep from paying that bill, but it doesn't mean that they're really trying to get it back up.
Well, there is a realtor sign out there on the house, and so I
For
guess
sale?
Yes.
Okay.
But I called it, and it's like a dead number, which is kind of weird.
That's good for you.
Okay, so
That meant that somebody did list it for sale. That probably means that they were asking too much money for it if the sign is still there and the number doesn't work.
Okay.
Right,
They were asking too much money for it, and it didn't sell. The agent maybe not be in business anymore with what's been going on in the economy recently, and it's probably still there. So now what you need to do is go on the city tax records, go on the city website, and it's called CIS. This is being recorded.
Right.
It's called the CIS system or GIS system. And you put in the address, and it'll pull up and tell you who the owner is, and it'll give you the last known address. With deals like that, the hardest part is finding out who the owner is. Unfortunately, that real estate agent's number is disconnected for the agent, but the broker's number should be good.
Okay.
So try to go back and look at that sign, see the name of the broker. Usually there's a broker's name, and then underneath there's an agent's name and an agent's cell phone number. That agent may be out of the picture, but that broker should still be in that city.
I'm taking notes.
And go find the broker, give them that address, and ask them if they could give you. Now the problem with that is, I'm going to say it, is if I were you, I would go to the city first, and I would try to find the owner, and I would try to keep it off market. So you really,
right.
you
To make a deal with them directly, right?
Yeah, make a deal with them directly.
All right, so now, all right. I'm taking
Finding
notes.
the owner is hard.
I'm going to rewatch this.
Right, and you
can
can get my number. Just text me. I'll walk you through it.
I'll blow your phone up. Sorry,
And you don't even have to come to my presentation this Thursday and pay me $10,000.
I mean, you can if you want to, though. You can come through.
I day trade. I teach at day trade. No,
Maybe we could trade.
yeah, I like barter.
Yeah.
Shout out to Barter Black. So if somebody like me found a property and they know it's, they want to take control of it and flip it, whatever, what would you suggest they do? Besides, after finding the property's owner, right, or the broker, right, what's next if they don't have a lot of money or they don't know what to do with it once they have control of it?
I would suggest you contact me or somebody like me to mentor you. One of the greatest secrets in the world, in anything, not just career, is to have a mentor. Okay. To try to do it by yourself.
Right.
That's the risky part, and that's the scary part.
Okay.
I've got students in my program right now through the presentation we do on Thursdays at 6:30. They come in, and there's programs like this out on YouTube everywhere. You see a guy, he comes to a hotel.
Yeah, we talked to a handful. Like on our show, we had like 3 or 4 real
and they
estate
charge
guys.
you.
Grimes.
I'm not
The
sure.
bigger bigger ones like Grant Cardone charges like $50,000,
Wow.
and I reduced mine. And I actually got in one through a guy named Tyler Devereaux, and we paid $40,000. And it was a great program. A lot of people can't come up with $50,000 or $40,000.
Right,
so
right.
I reduced it down to $10,000 so people can come in and they can learn. And one of my founders, like we call them founders, they came in, they're a couple, paid the $10,000, kept coming every Thursday, learning about flipping, building houses, multifamily. But then I admired them, but they were excited. Jumped out, went to Atlanta where they're originally from, got with a friend that's an agent down there and has a system supposedly, and bought a flip, and that person put them with a contractor, and they started the process. I talked to the guy just this last week, and he's losing his money. The contractor is a horrible person. So what I suggest to my team members, my students, my founders that get in with me is to do your first deal here at home. Do it in our system, so that I can be hands-on and kind of
Make sure
handhold and walk you through, give you my contractors that I've been working with for a long time that I know are not going to leave you hanging.
Yeah.
So you cut down a lot of risk when you work with a mentor in a system that has a proven track record for things that you need, but do not do it by yourself.
That sounds so relatable. So I started day trading August, and like you're saying, I found somebody on YouTube, but I kept watching him. Like I found one system, and I watched his system. I lost money, but just going back to his system, I was able to see why I was losing money and mitigate the risk. So now I'm making more money and losing less than I was initially. Right.
Excellent.
So, I like what you said.
I should ask you a question, but I won't.
No, go ahead.
Ask him a day trading question.
Hey,
What's the
look,
day
man,
trading question?
But no, it's about a business question. It's like we don't like that part of business where sometimes in the beginning we have to lose money
No, that's the learning process.
before we make money.
Yeah.
No one wants to lose money. And I mean, it's
you
like
can't
being,
win.
it's
You
like being
can't
an NBA player and like, are you really think you're gonna never lose a game?
Right.
Ever? Now you may
Never
go
miss
this
a shot.
season.
Right.
You know, there are some movies out there where these these high school football teams win a whole season and never lost a game. There's not that many teams that have done that.
No.
Right.
So just in life, as we move into business, we're talking about business. A part of the mindset, especially when I teach, on Thursday nights, having a millionaire mindset. A part of a millionaire mindset or a 100,000-aire mindset is prepare. Don't want to lose, but prepare if and when it does happen, that you're going to get up the next day and you're going to learn from it as you've done, and you're going to go back in and say, okay, I'm going to invest and invest and invest, and if I lost $1,000, I'm going to earn $5.
Right.
So
You
less
gotta
1,000,
lose. Yeah, you
I'm
gotta
4,000
lose to
net.
learn. You got to lose to learn, to come back. You got to go through the bad times to learn and be better.
So
You know what I'm saying?
I got two takeaways right quick. Scared money don't make money,
Scared money don't make money.
and get in over your head. You gotta
And
get-
learn. You learn. Yeah,
Right.
you learn
Yeah.
the best way.
Yeah.
You got a question for us, Frank?
No, I was going to talk about courses.
Well,
So,
hold on.
like,
Scared money don't make money.
Scared money don't make money.
Get in over your head.
Get in over your head.
Have a mentor.
Have a mentor.
no, that's huge, having a mentor. So, like,
what I
I
don't have.
buy courses.
Okay.
I got like 5-6 courses. I'm buying courses all the time, learning from different people. Have you do you have plans to package this information in a course to sell it in a certain way, or are you going to stick with the weekly thing that you got
As we
going on?
build our team, we'll probably will go into that direction, because with courses, you're teaching people 24 hours around the clock, like with your books. When you're not there, but you have to, with a course, you have to have somebody, you have to have other individuals. These guys that have courses have other individuals that can assist in teaching these courses, because once you put it out there and you change your structure from, if my structure is really raising capital and doing real estate, that is a full-time job. That's a full-time, I don't want to call it a job, that is a full-time fun. That's a full-time fun thing to do. But if I didn't want to do courses, that can become time consuming. So either I'm going to do it limited, or I'm going to have somebody else on the team that do it.
Right.
But I've thought about what we've been doing for the last 2 years, and I can't. So we're getting ready to come out with a school that's like a course, and we already have a curriculum. And I don't want to mention the name of the school because it's so cool. And
They make it a figure shit out exclusive.
I'll come back. Maybe I'll come back.
Oh, for sure you're coming back. I don't
After
know.
we have an IP attorney, and if anybody that doesn't know what IP is,
Intellectual
intellectual property. So the name of the school is a really cool name. So once our IP attorney
He'll
has,
get a trademark first, and
then I'll come back and talk to you about the school. But and so it's kind of like 0 to 300 school, but that's not it. We're gonna package that up as a curriculum and teach our founders, the people that come in at the $10,000 level. You know, they're making a financial commitment, and so we want to teach them first. But at some point, I think what we've taught we'll put out as a curriculum at some point.
Here's a question for you. Somebody said if they don't pay, they don't pay attention. Have you found that to be true with dealing with people in real estate?
I found it both ways. I find, unfortunately, I've got people that have invested $10,000 and don't pay attention.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Okay.
And definitely the others that don't pay and they don't come back. The thing that amazes me, and really, at first I used to say I've been disappointed in people that come around and not only hear my story, but hear Dwight's story, how he invested $150,000 in 22 months. He got $300,000 back, so he doubled his money in 22 months. And hear his story. I could talk about my senior partner, Brad, in the 300. He got a check. He's like 39 years old. Got a check for $7 million.
Need one of them.
So
wow.
It was disappointing to me to bring a room full of people, whether that room is 5 people or 50, and share these stories, and people leave and not come back. To me, that's like
crazy.
bringing Jay-Z or bringing somebody, I don't know who, into the room, Kendrick or Denzel, I don't know who you consider successful, into a room, and they say, I'm going to be here every week, Oprah or somebody, I'm going to be here every week to teach y'all how to do this. You just got to come back, and don't come back.
No, that's crazy.
That started messing with me at first. But I realized I had unrealistic expectations. And, what is it, the 80-20 rule? Out here in life, 20% of the people, and maybe less, are going to really get involved. So in this process, the biggest thing that's been happening is I've been learning what's real in this world. And so I think going into 2026,
What's real?
I'm going to
What
be
is
more
What's real in
adjusted.
this world?
What's real?
Well, what's real is that just because you bring someone huge like a Denzel Washington into the room and you sit him beside him and he says, do, 1, 2, 3, 1,000 people watching, all 1,000 not going to do it. Right. And I had unrealistic expectations about that.
Who did we talk to that did the same thing? Was it Tremaine? When she learned about investing, and then she try to come back to the hood and teach about investing.
Oh,
and she was
yeah.
like, nobody cared.
Nobody.
She couldn't change. Tremaine.
Yeah,
Was it Tremaine?
Yeah. So we these people who maybe have a big heart and really want to go back and
Change
help
the world. Yeah.
change the world type people want to go back and help. All of us in here, obviously, we have to adjust our expectations. And I'm trying to remember who helped me. I don't know if it was Denzel, it was somebody on that level that I heard on a podcast. They did not help me directly. I heard on a podcast say, your job is to sow the seed. There's this story in the Bible about the sower and all. Your job is just to teach. Your job is not to make one person or 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 or 1,000,000 people. Your job is not to make them do it. Your job is definitely not to think that all 100 of your students or 1,000 of your team members are going to do it. Your job is to teach and to be cool with that, and then to watch, teach, be cool with that, really, that you're doing your job, and then to watch and to see which ones step forward. Watch and be ready, and the ones that step forward and say, I want this.
The 20.
Then you
the
rock
20
with
out
that.
of the 100.
Yeah.
20/80.
So
Yeah.
I'm adding another one to the list. Plant every seed. Get in over your head. Get a mentor. Scared money don't make no money. Hey Frank, I'm going home to be rich, cause I'm calling.
that's
I'm
what
gonna
it is.
change your order though.
What's
Get
up?
the mentor. Get the mentor.
Get the mentor first.
Then maybe getting over your head.
Okay.
And then plant the seeds. And then what's the last
Scared
one?
money don't make money.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with
Hey,
it.
get the mentor could be combined with buy a course. Like if you buy a course, you're learning from
No,
somebody.
you're right, because I bought a course for
I got
stock
like-
trading, and it panned out. Like I paid $400, I doubled my money in like 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, I'm sold.
Right.
I bought a
when I
course
bought
for the
them-
books. Yeah, I got 10 courses
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
think I'm a
What
big,
type of courses? Now I'm asking you questions.
I got the book, KDP coursing.
Where-
I got
which one? This one?
Yeah, I got a marketing course.
Which one is KDP? Which one?
Oh no, both of those are on there.
Okay.
But that's something different. Those are my books. I got
Tell me
another.
what KDP is.
The Kindle Direct Publishing. We talked about it
Yes.
at the
Yes.
restaurant with
Yes.
the children's books and all that.
Yeah.
So I got a course for that. I bought a course for marketing from somebody. I got a course for YouTube, YouTube
Yeah.
videos and stuff like that. I got so
Facebook.
many courses. I didn't do a Facebook one.
Oh, it was just a video for Facebook girl, right?
Yeah, yeah.
make
So
money on
coursing, for my version of get a mentor is find somebody that's you can trust or somebody online that's just been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
If they're selling a course, buy the course because they're gonna give you all the tricks, all the tips, all
like
the
that.
things. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Just
you.
Go straight to the juice.
So that may be the second most valuable question
you
you've
can't
asked
be
me.
out questioning me, bro.
So now
Get a
I'm
course.
thinking about putting a course out because you put it out there. From what I'm learning from you, is what I've been teaching you. Put it in a course, you put it out there, and it's just out there for people. They don't need me. They don't need me if they've got the course.
Right.
Right, and you
They're
can.
learning from the
But
course.
you're
Plug
gonna,
in other
they're
things.
gonna need more from you. So the course that I bought from his stock trader, I ended up joining the Patreon because the courses is one thing, but now he's giving out more information.
Right.
He's actually
The course
sharing
gets you
trades.
started.
Right.
Gives you the foundation and gives a person at an affordable price, whatever that is, the opportunity to say, we said $400,
Right.
to apply it. And if that person gets busy at work or busy in life and they decide not to do more, then they don't need the
higher
author.
tier, yeah.
Right. They don't need to go to the next level.
I'm still in the podcast joint. I got a podcast course. What's the people?
David Shan.
David Shands. Yeah, I'm selling his
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I'm selling his program. You know
Are
what I'm
you?
saying? So, yeah.
Is it
I still got the login and everything.
All right.
I go in
so,
there.
all right, here's my question. Here's my question for Frank and I who juggle. We juggle a lot.
We do.
I do my best to try to keep it vertically, integrate vertically. Of course, you get some over here that don't belong to nothing, right? And so, how do you feel about doing too much or doing too many things and keeping it in the same niche or field?
Wow. That's probably the third most important question.
I need number one.
Because I'm not. This is really wonderful, and thanks so much for.
No, thank you.
For
We
that.
appreciate you
Bro,
coming.
we talk. How long did we talk about doing this podcast?
2 years?
We're like, all right, we got to
it-
get up. We got to get up. We got to
good
get up. We got to
job,
get up.
Frank.
Has it
It
been
is.
2 years?
Something like
At
that.
least 2
yeah.
years. So thanks for not giving up on that.
Good job, Frank.
But we go back how many years though?
More than 10.
Yeah, more than
More than
10.
So hold on. Sorry. Sorry.
Well, then
know-
she goes back more with him.
What?
I don't know her that well. I know you.
25.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Frank, you've known this guy for X amount of years, and we're just now getting to talk to him. And
My
I'm
fault.
just now getting to
My
meet him.
fault. My fault. I was like I started off. I was in the grind for a number of years, and this is a big tip. When you get an opportunity that you've been wanting all your life, and you get an opportunity, and I don't know who to reference to. I always go back to NBA players, and your team's in the championship or something like that. You finally get on that kind of a team, and you having that kind of a run to do something huge, win the NBA championship or buy a 300 unit. You have to talk to your family and everybody and say, y'all got to love me, and no, this is a part of the purpose and the plan. I'm out, and you disappear for a while,
I've been there before.
and you achieve that thing, and yeah. But back to the question in terms of doing too many things. Wow, that's entirely the kind of person I am. Typically, people that do big things are dreamers, and want to dream and do all of it at once. And I've learned from a couple of mentors in the past 5 years, particularly. Pick one at first, and the one that's gonna succeed first and maybe the most, and do it. And that may be difficult for people to put the other things on the shelf for a while. And I remember when I found the 300 unit and took it to my team and at CIG, and the founder there, Brad, was a phenomenal man. And I could bring Brad up here. We could do an entire podcast with just him. But one of the most important things that he shared with me as a new friend and then mentor, I wanted to do all kinds of stuff. I wanted to do the 300 unit. I wanted to be on the board. I wanted to take the proceeds from it and help the homeless and help my
Doing way too
church
much,
and
yeah.
help my family and help everybody. And he said, what I want you to do for the next 2 years is nothing else but this.
Word.
And that's when I disappeared, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, from family, from
we both
friends,
have been flighty.
and a lot of stuff. And I did just the 300 unit every day, 7 days a week. I lived in the Weston area, Virginia Beach Town Center area. And I got up every morning and I drove to Newport News, and we put our offices inside a 2-bedroom apartment, and we were totally win the NBA championship, win the Super Bowl focus.
Right.
And I wasn't trying to, what's it called? Change the world or
Bring people, change
I wasn't
people.
trying to change the world or help the entire world. That was hard for me to not want to, do everything else to help the world and to just focus on that one thing. But we did. And because of it, we completed it. And then from the completion, it gave us the resources to then hire people to change the world.
Yeah,
Hold on. So to your point, you were saying head down. Man, I be trying to day trade, and I be downstairs. I work out before, and I got a regular job, and I work from home, and I be on the computer. But from like 9:15 to like 11:30, I'd be like, kids, leave. I homeschool. And my kid,
9:15 a.m.?
yes,
Okay, to 11.
it's like 11. I'm eyeballing the chart, and my kids are like, Dad, I want a banana. I'm like, dog, I don't care. Like, to your point of like, I'm trying to win this championship. For you though, like they don't care. They want the food. They want some attention, right? They want to play right now. How do you tell your, like you said, sorry, family, I got to go get the championship. Like, how do they take it? Or they don't care now that you got the championship?
You have to create. You have to create the environment. Mm-hmm. I didn't have small kids in the house at the time, so it was just the timing for me. So I'll go back. A little bit. So when I was a parent with kids in the house, and I was in the entertainment business at the time as a concert promoter, and the distractions were like my friends in Atlanta and LA and Miami and other places were like, man, you need to come here, and promote. You can make so much more money. But I was a dad. Mm-hmm. And so I made the sacrifice. I said, no, can't move to Atlanta or Miami because the kids are in school, and that's just not, I'm not taking them out of school. It's not happening. Right. I said, nope, I'm going to be a dad first, and I'll go and build an empire later. So at that point in my life, I kind of focused on them and raised them and kicked them out of the house. And then I was able to do that. But if I had to go back then and do what I just did with the 300 unit with kids in the house, I would have to somehow build an army. I remember one time seeing somebody interviewing Jay-Z and asking him, like, with y'all's schedule, UMB, how do you do all that? The kids, and his response was, man, we got an army.
Hell yeah.
So they built the village. There's a saying that says it takes, a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to raise a family, it takes a village to raise a marriage, it takes a village to raise a business. Mm-hmm. So you may have to build your village a little bit more, and I don't know what that looks like.
That's a bar. That's huge. even me, like,
so that somebody keeps the kids somehow away from you. Since do you have a door with a sign on the outside?
Man, there's
that says
a big
kids?
Staircase. They just looking at me, bro.
It says you don't have a sign for the kids that says do not. So you have to somehow create that. If the sign doesn't work with the kids because they can't read, they're too young, they're 3 or 4 or whatever, they don't even know what the words mean, then I don't know how you create that, but you have to create that. I mean, think about I love sports, I always reference sports, any player, he had to get a sitter so he could go to practice. I don't know who that's going to be. Auntie, mother-in-law.
I have a wife. We homeschool.
AI. I don't know who's going to babysit your kids for those
robots.
But
2 hours.
But she's trying to, I'm a big put yourself first type of person, right? Like my kids are like, they're working out. I'm going to take care of me because I'm going to show you how to take care of you. And so she's adopted that. So she's upstairs working out too. And I'm like, I can't be mad because she got to take care of her. And so and I work from home, so it's not that stressful, but it's just like something I want to do.
And you need to do it, but it's a double side coin, and it's a positive coin on both sides. It's heads and heads. It's not heads and tails. Okay. You need that time blocked out, but however you do it will also teach your kids that discipline. Right. That we need to this is dad's time and they got to play with auntie or grandma or somebody else, but it teaches them that discipline as well, and even at an early age. So it's a really positive thing. So create that village.
We will.
Build that
Thank you. I
village.
Village
appreciate
is
it,
important. That's huge because, like, when we started working together, we were doing everything ourselves, right? For years now. I'm just expanding. Like, I got Cam, new guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just branching out to where I'm reaching out. I got him and another person actually working on LP stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's huge for me, and you know it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trusted people.
That's called
bringing people-
scaling.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
you're
starting
scaling.
to do. You know what I'm saying?
This is growing. And
No,
that's
No,
a
this is
beautiful
definitely
thing.
growing. We was virtual for a while, like just virtual.
Yeah.
But I was yelling at him like, we need to go
What
do
was a
stuff.
while? How long was a while?
22.
We started in 22,
22,
so this will
23,
be the fourth
24.
year. This will be the fourth year.
But
It
I
was
yelling-
virtual.
I was yelling at him. We need to do more stuff in person. And like, I don't know what happened, but it clicked in him harder than it did in me. And he's like, "Are we doing more stuff in person?" So I'm like, he's like, "We're gonna do it in person." I'm like, all right. So I'm driving 2 hours to do stuff in person because I'm
Right.
like, I believe in him. I believe in us. I believe what we're doing. I believe the mission. I believe. I'm sure that it's gonna pan out how we want it to, how we need it to.
No, facts.
Cultivating friends.
It takes time.
Yeah.
No, it
A
does.
lot of us look at these people, whoever we consider to be successful, whether it's entertainment, sports, business, or wherever, we look at them and we see the success that they have now. But a lot of times people don't take the time to go back on YouTube or Google
Go back to
Watch
their
that
and
first
go
10
back to the
videos.
journey and look at, like, even with me finding a 300 unit and the book being out, like, how did this guy find a 300 unit? Where did he come from? And I've been doing this for 20 years.
Right.
I didn't just find 300 units.
Dope. We got maybe one or two more questions.
Yep.
What is
Yep.
something you're trying to figure out right now? Something you're struggling with, or something you put out to the universe, like, I need help with this, or I need answers. What are you trying to figure out?
It's the same thing. I had to raise more money. because at first we raised money, but it's a different level. There's different levels of we're talking about real estate, for 0 to 300, and we're talking about multifamily apartments. And we're talking about capital. We started the conversation off about capital. I figured out at a very early age it's about capital. So at first we were raising money for deals. Like we raised, $2 million to buy it. We raised $4 million to rehab it, so $6 million. And on the $4 million, we paid our investors back. And this was during COVID, 2020. We paid our investors 100% market guy, so we paid them 100% return. So on a $150,000 investment, my guy got $300 back. Now I'm raising money for people. So first we raised money for deals. A little bit easier to raise money for a deal.
Right.
Because the asset is sitting there. It's a 50 unit, it's a 100 unit, it's a 300 unit. Let's just look at our numbers. If you got a great deal, like, our 300 unit, then it's easier to raise the capital. So, we got proof that we can get it for 13 million, and we've got some information from an appraiser that says it's going to be worth 30 million, and that investors are going to be able to get 20% or 100% of their money. Easy. It's a little bit more difficult now when we're raising 500,000 or whatever we're raising to hire people, to be able to be in an environment like this that can help you exponentially. So I've got mentors that I've sought out and that I'm now working with that are in the venture capital space, that are angel investors that I believe in what has, not just me, but I have a team as well that believe in what has happened to us, what we've already accomplished, and I'm thankful and I'm humbled by it to be able to say that I'm invested in 1,215 doors is my elevator pitch.
That's crazy. Yeah.
And if a person already knows me, or if they'll do research, their due diligence on me, and then if they like me, people invest with you because they like you.
Yep.
And they believe in your vision. There's something about your vision that they have kind of the same vision. They want to do that thing. They want to take their billions, 757-615-3853.
There it is. That was the next joint, the socials and the contact and all that.
Or Instagram or TikTok or Facebook. They want to take a portion of their billions. And the essence of what we do when we buy large apartments, large distressed apartments, we go in and invest in the property, but we really to transform the community, but we really invest in people's lives. So when you're transforming an apartment community, what you're really doing is transforming people's lives that live there. And when we talk to people, you know, on those angel investor levels, they have a lot of money because they've worked hard, they've sacrificed, they've probably lost, they probably have a heart and a passion for something. And when you have the same passion as that kind of person, they just want to check you out and make sure that you're real and that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. You have integrity, you're going to keep your word, and then they invest. So I'm learning at that level, and I'm looking for that person. If you are that person, please. Got my plug in there.
Last thing, drop your socials, drop your website, drop your socials, so people, if they want to contact
Tony
you.
Harrell at Facebook, Tony Harrell Instagram. I think I'm Tony Harrell TikTok. The website is Affinity with an affinitycapitalfund.com, AFFINITA, capitalfund.com. I think that's about it. I'm pretty easy to find. And thanks so
You
much.
got a podcast coming soon, right? We're gonna
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
podcast.
yeah,
So I guess
Drop that shit?
I can plug the podcast. We
podcast.
we've met, and we're going to be bringing the podcast out. It's probably going to be named 0 to 300, and we're going to talk to people. And hopefully in January, February, we'll talk about how soon we can get that going. And we want to reach more people with what happened in 0 to 300. This is about how I went from owning 0 apartments. I mean, I was flipping houses. I didn't own a duplex. I didn't own 4 units. I've owned single family houses before and rented them out. Like I had 2 or 3 or 4 of them prior to the recession.
Right.
And I lost them all.
Okay.
So I didn't have even a side house that I was renting. And so my first commercial deal was a 300 unit. But
great.
what 0 to 300 also, as I shared with you guys, also talks about is how anybody in any industry, sports, entertainment, medicine, family, can go from what the world calls a 0, like to 300, like that movie 300. So, you know, anybody in sports, I could ask Allen Iverson, how did you go from 0 to 300 in basketball, or anybody? So that's what the podcast is going to be about, talking
Coming
to people
soon.
about coming soon,
Coming
about
real soon.
how they went from 0 to 300 out, you know, in hip hop. I'd love to get, you know, anybody on the show, medicine, and really have people talk about that, because it will encourage people.
You're getting blessed by the sun.
It will encourage people that's doing anything out there. You don't have to have $10,000 or $100,000 to be successful in real estate or in trading or anything. We want to encourage people. We really want to inspire people and encourage people that they can do it. If what happened to me, you know, 25, 30 years of hard work and dreaming and really going after it, we know.
That's gonna be dope. Well, that's a wrap of episode 119. Thank you, Tony, so much for coming through. We were talking about this for so long. We finally got it done. Check out Tony. Check out his website. Check out Figuring Shit Out. We out. Appreciate you guys. Which
Hey,
camera?
Tony, I'm gonna be calling
Which
you, brother.
camera?
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
call Tony.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
link up,
That's what it's all
do all
about.
that.
That's why I'm here.
All right, we out.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Boom.
Peace.
Thank you.
All right.